to all the issues. Lord, keep me from going mental. Help me sure the bed ain't simple and stay woke on instrumentals.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CHH Hysteria, a podcast for CHH about everything CHH. I am your host, Cole, and today I have brought on my wife.
What's up?
To tell the story of our relationship and a few of the most interesting moments where CHH was a part of it.
Yeah, we could only pick a few.
And how in the end, CHH got me a wife. But if you fast forward a long time ago when I was just like 11 years old, she was 10. We both went to this camp, this Christian camp, and that our older siblings were a part of. They were friends, but we didn't actually become friends until we were old enough to become counselors, and you had to go through this ministry training. Where I was 14 and she was 13.
Yeah, at this training, one thing that made us a little bit more friends is you would have this prayer partner for the week.
It was anonymous.
And what you would do is write them little notes, like say I'm praying for you, and give them a Bible verse for encouragement or something, and post it up on this bulletin board. So, of course, Cole had me one year.
Let's go.
And I sure got some interesting notes, I will say. They were pink paper, and on them, not just I'm praying for you, but he would give me
I went all out.
a super corny Christian pickup line.
As a joke.
And then, so he would write, you put the stud in Bible study, and are you a Pharisee? Because you're the fairest one I see. And then he would draw pictures and write down like a quote of the day on them. And let's see, most of the time it was Lecrae quotes.
It was either Lecrae or KB, probably.
Yeah.
So looking back on it, the pickup line was probably a little bit creepy, but back in the day, we thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. And looking back, it's kind of creepy to think about it. But also, the drawing wasn't just anything random. Don't get me wrong. It was a fact of the day as well. So pretty much I gave her a quote of the day, a corny pickup line of the day, and a fact of the day. And like one of the facts would be like, what is it? Like donkeys or mules can't sink in quicksand. So I drew like a little donkey going in quicksand, but I can't draw at all. Like
also,
I can hardly draw a stick person.
I don't know if that's true, so don't take his word on it.
And also, like, so many people die from vending machines each year. So, anyways, I just, I gave her a fact, and I drew the fact. And, pretty simple, but I thought it was a good idea. And, at the camp, at the very end, you tell each other who had who. So she found out it was me because I told her. And, of course, we gave each other our Snapchats and our phone numbers so we could talk outside of camp or whatever. And our first conversation outside of camp was actually about Christian hip-hop, because obviously she knew I liked it at that point because I gave her a bunch of KB and Lecrae quotes, and she was looking for some suggestions. So back in the day,
I didn't really know Christian rap much.
Right, and back in the day, I was obsessed with like rap that would go fast. You know what I mean? So KB and Cannon, those were my guys, like literally, because like Where Is Matt Haven by Cannon, I would blow my mind. Give my all, go off, all that stuff. So I gave her some suggestions, mostly KB and Cannon and Lecrae.
Yeah. The songs that really got me hooked were Undefeated, Give My All, and Go Off, all by KB.
Because he's a GOAT.
Yeah, Undefeated is the classic of the classics. But he would go, and Go Off and Give My All, he seriously goes so fast in those one verses. I was like, how is this even possible? This guy is so cool. I need to listen to him all the time. I started rap a lot more. My friends started getting into it. And Mansion came out by NF, and it became my best friend's favorite album. And we heard that NF and Derek Minor, such an odd pair nowadays, they were in concert together back at this little local church in Des Moines when NF was so small. And it was right around her birthday, so we got tickets to it, of course, and we were going to the concert, and when we were in line to meet Derek Minor, and he was talking to us, it came up that it was her birthday, so he sang happy birthday to her, which was so sweet. It's so sweet. We have a recording of it, and it made me love Derek's music so much more. And I still have the picture that we took with him right after we asked him what his favorite animal was. By the way, he said a lion.
Hey.
Oh.
Wasn't even planned.
Yeah. And so that was so cool. And then we ran into Cole there and his ex-girlfriend. And so that was a really fun concert to go to.
We waited in line together, so I was able to see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
happy
true.
birthday thing. But yeah, it was like a little before. I want to say February of 2016, so like right before, because Therapy Session would drop in April. And I remember he did an encore, and he played Grindin' from his iPhone, if you don't remember that. He went in the back, and he
Yeah.
plugged in his phone and played Grindin' for us. That was great. He did like
Yeah.
a real acapella.
Yeah.
Real, the song. Like he just like did a little verse of that or whatever. It was super dope. And yeah, then later on that year, like in November probably, we really started talking pretty much every single day. And for about a year, most of our conversations were about music. Specifically, most of them were about CHH, and mostly me telling her a bunch of crap about CHH. Probably stuff she didn't even care to know, but like she was gonna learn. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have very much people to just be like, "Dude, Lecrae did this," like on Instagram today. Like that was just my life back in high school.
I would spit all these random CHH facts to my friends who like didn't really know rap at all, and they're like,
All the small guys.
"How on earth do you know that?" I'm like, "It's Cole. He tells me it all."
Right, I had to like get that love out somehow, right? And I was too awkward to make videos or anything like that, so I just pretty much I told Livy, and we also talked about a lot of other stuff. But she would give me suggestions sometimes. She was like, Sail by AWOL Nation or
A
21
lot were
Pilots.
Weird
No,
pop songs.
I thought they were pretty good. But a lot of it was me.
Yeah. We talked a lot, and Cole, he sent me all the suggestions, and when Perception and All Things Work Together came out, it was perfect. I didn't have Spotify, but he was a G, and he sent me the albums over Google Drive. I didn't even know that you could send music that way, but I got them, and that was how I got to listen to them. So grateful. Those are such classic albums then.
Yeah, so like it was like 2017 was such an exciting time, and pretty much Livy never never heard me stop talking about it because if you guys remember back in 2017, it was Lecrae dropped AWT, then 2 weeks later NF dropped Perception, and 2 weeks later KB dropped Today Rebel. And speaking of Today Rebel, also we have a video about that out. You should check it out. Best album of all time. Anyways, I got Today Rebel about a week early because I had Spotify, but I was like, I gotta support my artists, and so I bought all their physical disc as well. So he sent it like a week early, and so this was October 13th, and I sent her Today Rebel, the best album of all time. And I told her, I was like, after my first few listens, I was like, dude, this might be my favorite album of all time. Like, let's see what happens in a few years. But like, as of now, I'm saying it. It's gonna be my favorite. And guess what? She didn't listen until about the middle of November.
I completely regret this. I was just in a really weird stage of life and dealing with toxic relationships. It was bad.
But you know what a perfect healing to toxic relationships is besides Jesus? KB's music, specifically Today Rebel. I'm joking, I promise. But, so after Today Rebel came out, KB went on the Winter Jam tour, which, if you're not familiar with that, pretty much it's a really big Christian tour with a bunch of CCM and Christian rock, and they usually
Who's
bring
not
in...
familiar with Winter Jam?
It might not be, I don't know, but like, and they usually bring on one Christian rapper or two. I think Triple E might have been there that year too. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, super excited. I went with my best friend Jared, which also does some design stuff for us, but because he and his youth group was able to get super cheap tickets to the floor, and I was like, I'm going to see KB up close again. Love KB concert. He was my favorite guy, and I went to the merch table after that, and that's where we met up, because she was there with some of her friends, and we ended up there, and Jared and I were weird. We're like, we're going to meet KB, and we're the first ones to meet him, even though he's not coming out till the end of the concert, and he was one of the first people to come, by the way. Like, he was one of the first acts, or, I don't know if you call acts, whatever.
He is like the first.
He was one of the first ones, but we still went up there, and we waited the whole concert, in line to meet KB, but like during that, like I kept buying more merch. Like I started out with like $50, but at the very end, I spent $160 on KB merch, which I don't regret, by the way. I have a lot of good stuff from that concert, and I have.
Is this shirt from there?
No, this came out after, and also like every $50 you spent, you got a free poster, one of those things, and a free physical disc. So I now have like 4 Today We Bell CDs, but. When KB found this out, he recorded it. He was like, "How much did you spend?" I was like, 160, and he was like, and he put that as Instagram story. Best day of my life. Well, not best day of my life, obviously, but one of the better days of my life. And then Jared and I went back to my kind of a junky car at the time. It was a 1996 Toyota Camry. We went back, and we just lost it for about 15 minutes, just screaming like, "Dude, KB put me on his story, KB!" You know what I mean? How it goes, but. Yeah, so
I think I was like asleep at that time of the night after the concert, and you were like telling me about. I woke up.
I probably sent you like 30 messages. I was like, "Girl, listen," you know what I mean? No, but Livy and her friend. I think were you there with Winter Jam with her or no?
Yeah.
So her and her friend, they had they made a tradition out of coming every year to my town's festival. We have like a 3-day festival every single year called Tulip Time. We're a super Dutch town where I grew up. Like even like they had to follow like the Dutch front standards, so like you pretty much looks like you're in Holland.
Seriously, they have like Dutch Taco Bell and Dutch Walmart.
Right, it's kind of weird, but also kind of fun, I guess. But so every single year we have a 3-day festival, like I said, just celebrating Dutch culture, I guess. And the best part about that was the fact that we got out of school at 11:15 on those 2 Thursday and Friday. So we only had to go to school for half a day. Super easy day. We did nothing because half the school wasn't there because they were like doing other stuff with Tulip Time or whatever. And so it was just a great time. And then afterwards we were able to go hang up uptown or whatever. But Livy and her friend would come once a year.
Yeah, 1 day a week because it was like an hour and a half from where we lived. And so we road tripped down. And see, there is like thousands of people that go to this. This is no small little festival. This is like huge. Tourists everywhere. And like the population of the town already is like 10,000 people. And you know, if you live in Pella, you go to Tulip Time. So it's a lot of people. So my friend and I go, and I think this was the first year that we drove ourselves. Our moms didn't come too. And so we parked like 8 blocks away from where everything was happening. And at the end of the day, we were with Cole, and we're like, okay, we should probably go. So he's like, okay, I'll walk you back to your car and say goodbye. So we start walking around, and we're like, oh, we parked on this street. And it's like, no, our car is not there. And we walked for like a half hour just looking for it everywhere, and we were like, oh my gosh, did it get stolen? Like, who would steal our chunky little car? And so we're like, okay, our feet are killing us. Like, we need to just get home. So we're like, what if we walk back to get Cole's car and then drive around in his car to look for ours so we don't have to walk around and we save more time? So, of course, his car is parked on, like, the other side of town at his friend's house. So we walk all the way over there, and then we hop in his 99 Pontiac Grand Am, and
It had a spoiler on it, just saying.
yeah, we hopped in the back seat on top of all of his pop cans and Taco Bell
Not mine,
trash.
those are my friends, I promise. I just didn't throw it away.
And he's like, all right, let's turn up the music. So cool. He turns Tempo, classic song, but
Dude,
he
best song.
turns it up like all the way. These speakers are like broken, and like the bass is like booming. And here we are, like driving through the tourist and tractor filled streets of like these old ladies picking tulips, and we're just listening
What do
to
you mean
our
picking
rap.
tulips? You can't pick tulips.
Okay.
You get fined.
And we were listening to Tempo, and then we found our car, so it turned out all okay, but it's something I will never forget.
I had to show him what's up. I mean, she had heard Tempo, obviously. I'm not sure if your friend had, but you know, I just like Tempo was just my go-to at the time. This was a little bit before Today We Bell, but then after Today We Bell came out, KB, Tripoli, and Ty Brazel and Joseph Solomon all went on a tour called the Home Team Tour. You guys might remember it. and they were coming to Iowa. They actually came to Iowa twice, but one in Des Moines, which is actually where we live now, but that was about an hour away from where I was living at the time. So me and my dad, we went up, but I was like, Livy, you should come too. It'd be super fun. You have to see KB in concert. I promise you, blow your mind every single time. Best concert artist there, is my opinion. But and back then that was. But she decided that it would be more fun to go see Thor Ragnarok in concert, non-concert, in theaters. When you could go see it the next day and skip out on seeing KB, Trip Lee, Ty Brazel, Joseph Solomon. I mean, like, come on.
I know. I was a crazy kid. That was like 2 years ago, but it was awful.
Actually, almost 4 years ago at this point.
Oh.
So you're pretty young. I mean, like I said, like she didn't even listen to Tay Rebel. She said that KB was her favorite rapper, but she didn't listen to Tay Rebel until the middle of November. So I mean,
I have made repentance.
I have repented for my sins. Oh man.
I have.
No, but she made up for it because in 2019 there was the home team tour, not the Unashamed tour with all of Reach Records, super hype. Obviously, I was going to this. They came to Kansas City, which was about a 4.5-hour drive from us. So I brought all my homies. My dad drove us, and I brought Livy along. So it was like me, my 7 homies, my dad, and Livy. So it was quite the group. But
It was.
But yeah, she made up for it. Super fun.
That concert was seriously probably the best concert I've ever been to. We bought the general admission tickets, but we still got in like the nosebleeds, you
There
know?
was no one in front
we
of
were
us.
in the
It was
front.
great.
Tadashi came out after the concert and was like taking pictures with us and shaking our hands. I'm like, this concert, these guys, this is real. This is genuine.
Oh, I forgot to mention, at the KB concert, the home team tour, I met this guy named Braden. He's one of my good friends now. And he actually, he recorded a wedding, but he was with us. He came with us. So it's kind of funny. She didn't come to the KB concert, but I still made a friend. So
Again, and then he was part of our wedding, just another way that CHH connects.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, the drive back was crazy because it was like super foggy.
At like 3 a.m., 4
Right, so
a.m..
yeah, we weren't going to get a hotel, like, because that's just too expensive. All this stuff, and like, what would we do with like Livy? That'd be awkward because like we have 7 guys, and then Livy's like, Livy would have to get her own room, and all this other stuff. But so we drove back. So it was like probably 4 a.m. before we got back home. I mean, my dad was on that drove, so he's a G, shout out. But yeah, I spilled water on Livy.
Yes, it was ridiculous. It was like, I was like, hey, can you hand me the water? And so, yeah, he just like starts dumping it. I'm like, what are you doing? It was like freezing.
No, I was so tired. Like I just watch it. Like I like grabbed it. And, like I didn't dump it on purpose. Like I like almost dropped it, and I just kind of like looked at it for a second as it just dumped. And I was just so tired. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
and then she was mad after that. So I wasn't tired after that because she was pretty mad at me.
Yeah, well, and then we weren't sleeping, but almost everyone else was sleeping when the monster hit our car. In the fogginess of the night, something just like rammed into us, and we slammed on the brakes.
It was probably a deer.
And yeah, it was probably a deer, but you know.
Never know. But there was no dent.
It could have been a unicorn.
Probably. Or dinosaur. Just saying.
Dinosaur.
Anyways, but it didn't leave a dent, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But so that was super awesome. But then if we go, so that was April of 2019, April 4. And if you fast forward to November of 2019, I was gearing up to propose to Livy. And I had her not, so I was going to propose on Christmas. Well, actually, I went through a few different possible dates. But after, I was like, oh, I could do it in January. But then after I got the ring, I was like, dude, there's no way I can wait any longer. I'm doing Christmas. And she didn't think, she really, really wanted a Christmas proposal, but she didn't think I was going to be able to do it because, like, she, because, I was in college, and then also I didn't have a job lined up at the time. I was graduating in May. But, I wasn't worried. So I ended up proposing that day on Christmas morning at my parents' house. Super fun. So she's a super nostalgic person. So I was like, it'd be fun if I did like a trip down memory lane sort of thing. Like where like I had 5 separate gifts in this giant box. And each gift was like a part of our, like, kind of like a chronological order of our relationship. And so like the first one I had was this 116 shirt that she's actually wearing right now that you can't see. But
Wait, this way.
yeah, so she had this. I gave her this 116 shirt as the first one. It was like, for our first conversations, because that's how that's how we actually started talking, was because of CHH. So
He's so creative.
That's pretty dope. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And at our wedding, you know, that was CHH. That was even a part of CHH in our wedding. I'm not sure how that makes sense. You guys get what I'm saying. At our recessional, which is the song that plays right after your wedding ceremony. So it was like, I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Cole. And then you play like a hype song as you're walking back out of the room. So we played Till Death by Andy Mineo.
And then we were working on the dance playlist because we obviously have to have a dance at our reception. So I was working on it because I was like, oh, I love this. I can do this. So I just made this dance playlist that had a bunch of CHH in it. And then
amazing.
she came and like ruined my fun and was like, you know, people only dance to what they know.
I was sad to ruin it, but it's kind of true. They don't feel confident
Right.
if they're dancing some song that they don't know.
Right, I think it ended up better that I didn't have CHH in it. But actually, I did have one song. She allowed me to keep one song because it was funny. It was for Cooper, our co-host, which isn't on today, obviously. But our Cooper goes hype to the song. By the way, if you ever want to get Cooper hype, you play this song or Sticks by No Big Deal. He'll go off.
Yeah.
But so she allowed me because it's super short. It just gets a lot of people hype and everyone loves it. It's Ants in My Pants by Not Collide. And we had this. Me and my homies, we had this like circle. We were just headbanging to this whole song, just
They
singing
were throwing
every
all their
single
long
word.
hair around.
Every single word, you best believe.
Oh, it was so good. We have a video of it. So great and nostalgic.
You have a video of that?
Yes, we do.
I need to see that.
Yeah, I should show you. And you know, Restoration came out like right around the time of our wedding, and we were going to Montana for our honeymoon. So in total, we spent around like 54 hours in the car.
It's crazy.
So I mean, you know what we were listening to the whole way.
Our Forward Focus.
So you know, now when I listen to Restoration, like that's what I think of, and it's beautiful. And CHH has definitely a special place in my heart because of how it's impacted us.
Right, CHH obviously got a special place in my heart. But no, be sure to let us know your CHH love encounters in the comments.
Please.
And if you also got a wife by CHH, let me know so we can chop it up, you know what I'm saying? But be sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as follow us on our socials, at CHH Hysteria on Instagram. That's where we're most active. And actually, every single day until Valentine's Day, we've been posting CHH, like, Valentine cards. Super corny, super amazing, everything you'd ever want in a Valentine's card. So you can get yourself a girl in style with CHH. I'm just saying, it will work, I promise. I practice on my wife. And then we also have Twitter, at CHH Hysteria Media. We're not quite as active on that, but we still post on there, so be sure to follow there. But until next time.
Bye.